guys, welcome back to the Phenomenally Retro podcast with me, your host Tony Giles, alongside WWE Hall of Famer and all-around amazing guy, Mr. A.J. Styles.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Well, I think you're pretty amazing. You know, as friends go, you're up there.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Couple of things to talk about. So, some things for the listening and the viewing audience out there, just to let you guys know. So, AJ and I, as I'm sure you are all aware now because you've been watching every episode, AJ and our buddies really don't know what we're doing when it comes to this podcast business. We just like getting on here, having a chat about wrestling, having a chat about video games, and that's pretty much it. But things are changing. Things are changing, and things will be changing sooner rather than later. And hopefully, fingers crossed, on our next live episode, which will be in a couple of weeks, I can reveal more. But some of the questions I get asked all the time, I will finally have answers for you. And I haven't even told AJ this stuff yet, so it'll be a surprise to him. Yep, it'll be a surprise to him, as it is to you guys. So if you haven't already liked, subscribed, shared this with everybody, please do so now. It really means a lot to me and AJ, obviously. And we're almost at 12,000 subscribers, which is great. So thank you very, very much. Have you been playing any games this past week?
I was able to get on my handheld and play a couple. Again, a lot of times I will get on my handheld and I will start sifting through games. And I end up just looking at all the games. I really don't play them. I just like, wow, that's a great game. Sunset Riders, oh, what a great game.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Cowboys, where they're actually cow. They're cows. Their characters are cows, and they've got guns, and they're shooting too. Kind of like Sunset Riders.
That sounds fun.
So that, these are arcade games that I was playing. So do I have a specific one I was playing? No. I usually just get on it for a minute and go, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Oh, this is redundant. Right. And I get off and play something else.
Yeah. Well, that's because, I mean, your machines haven't been fixed, right? Your arcade is still...
Yeah, my arcade's still down at the moment. But my handheld is, so it'll be up there. So,
are you playing any, like, console games at the moment? Any Xbox games that are kind of you're into a story?
The same stuff. Yeah. Like I'm playing Super Mega Baseball and PUBG because I don't know why I do that. I really don't.
Well, you just look, man. You enjoy it.
I don't know why I'm playing PUBG still. I really don't know why.
I've never played it, so
I should move on. Fair enough. But I think it's just the thought of learning new controls. I was like, I don't want to go through all that. You know. Maybe. Man,
I'll tell you, since I've been doing that other podcast, the Retro Wrestling Arcade, going back and playing like the old wrestling video games, my thumb, I'm starting to develop the callus on my fingers again.
Here's a question. When you play, right, what part of your thumb do you use?
The kind of the side part.
So I use right here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's the part that I'm developing.
But you know, some guys use the tip of their thumb.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
I'm one of these guys.
Yeah, like I got to put my whole thumb on it, and I'll push the thing. And
when you push buttons, are you pushing them like this? That's the way I push them.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And when I hold a controller kind of weird because when I play a video game, I hold the controller on the left-hand side of me. So I don't hold a controller in front of me. I hold it to the left of me. I don't know why.
I'm trying to figure out, now that you say that, I'm like, how do I play?
Yeah.
No, I hold it in front of me.
Yeah, some people do for some reason. I've always held it like down to the left. I don't know why. I actually, come to think of it, maybe it's from playing old school 2-player games where people could see what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I used to subconsciously I used to hide. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm starting to build up a callus again because I recently played this one right behind me, Pro Wrestling on the Sega Master System. No, this one.
The crappy one? Was it crap? Is it crap?
Define crap.
I've never heard anybody talk about Pro Wrestling for Sega.
So this was originally a Japanese wrestling game. Yeah. it's a tag team wrestling game. You have to play in a tag team, and so there are 3 leagues in the game. There's the Mexican League, Pacific League, and the World League. And so essentially it's 3 levels.
What is this, rugby or something?
Right.
Come on.
There are 3 leagues. Each match is 10 falls.
Right there's all I need to know about the Sega Pro Wrestling game. It sucks.
So I actually asked the question on the show itself, has anybody ever heard of a 10-fall match? Like, I don't know. The developers, when they made that game, must have been aware of pro wrestling. 2 out of 3 falls?
Yeah.
Maybe a best of 5? Maybe?
So how long
falls.
is a match?
3 minutes
Typically.
long. It's essentially, it's a 3-minute long match. However, if you pin your opponent beforehand, that's okay. That's okay. You get 3 minutes per match. It's kind of like WWE Speed, but for the Sega Master System. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great, but
I figured that.
it's part of my journey in bringing wrestling games, retro wrestling games to the world.
Right.
So that's why I have another show to do that on, because look at the face on this guy right here. He's not as impressed as I was. No, you get 4 teams to choose from, 4 whole teams, and you have 2 buttons. So it's not the best wrestling game out there, but this game is 40 years old.
Yeah,
1986.
So is pro wrestling for the Nintendo, and it's excellent compared to that.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not going to have you say goodbye.
Have you played pro wrestling? I'm sure we've talked about this. Have you played pro wrestling for the Nintendo Entertainment System?
I have. I played it once in the 90s, and I'm trying to find a copy. I don't have a copy.
Can't feel
only because. Look, here's the thing. I don't emulate. I only play on real cartridges, real things. I'm a purist.
He's one of those guys.
I could actually go and play pro wrestling right now on the Switch too. Okay, it's part of the Nintendo Online, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's too easy.
So you're missing out on one of the better wrestling games for the Nintendo because you refuse to emulate.
Well, I mean,
so
to be honest,
you know what? For all the people that hate you on this podcast, you probably now you have fans be like, "Oh, you know what? He's authentic, man. He only wants to play."
Look, this is the greatest wrestling game ever made. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. That's the only wrestling game you're ever going to need. You don't need any more.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
But how fun would it be if I just did a podcast where I played that game every week?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this: do you have the game that the new? Where's that game at? The new one that we're playing. That's based on Virtual Pro Wrestling 2.
The new the updated one is there. That is the updated one that has you in it. Yeah.
I went in there and I go, you know what? I'm gonna mess with this some moves and stuff. You can't change anything. You can't change it.
Right.
Oh, I was like, oh, thanks a lot, guys. There's some stuff I'd like to change. No Hayabusa, huh? Is there no Hayabusa in there? Because I thought I looked.
Hayabusa is in there, yeah.
Okay, I have to look. I have to go through them all and look. Not where some aren't where they should be for me, right? Are you
well,
sure?
I know that. What is it? No, someone's updated No Mercy.
Really?
Like that. They've updated it with new characters, yeah.
But do they keep all the old characters? Because that's important. You'd think like
some of them.
They're easy to keep because they're already made. All we got to do is add. Is it a problem with memory? Like you can't only fit so much. But and the new one that we have that you were just talking about, I don't even know the name of it. Do you? Because it doesn't matter to me.
It's called Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, the Freem edition.
Yeah, Freem. They have like from A to Z, literally guys you can make. So hopefully that's something that we can do is get in there and make somebody, because you wouldn't let me edit myself.
I'm sure there's probably a way to do it on an emulator. I'm not sure. Like when you're playing on an actual cartridge, like hardware, it might be different, but on an emulator, I'm not sure. I'm not interested enough to know this stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, our guest that we were supposed to have this week, we've had to kind of rearrange that a little bit. So he might show up at the end of the episode. He might not. We are at the whim of a schedule that we have to stick to. So unfortunately, we are going to get into that when we do speak to John. But here's some of the retro games I recently picked up. So for the NES, Tiger Heli. Do you know this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. And then Data East Karate Champ.
Oh, not bad. Not bad, especially for the time that it was made,
Yes.
and when it was in the arcade. It actually really good, really unique. If you're talking about fighting games, that was one of the first ones that we played. It's in
Bloodsport.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I bought it, because I was like, it's the Bloodsport game. I gotta buy that. Yeah,
it's actually not bad.
Yeah. It was like $5 as well.
I have an arcade 1-up version.
No way.
Also Burger Time, I think.
That you can That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. I want to show you something as well, because do you I know you didn't ever play Genesis as a kid, but you've gone back and you've got some stuff.
Yep.
Do you remember the game Wrestle War for the Genesis?
Yeah, I remember it.
Do you remember the cover of the game Wrestle War?
I think the cover
was a big jack dude.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool cover. Well, I found a Japanese copy of the game, and I can play Japanese versions. And there is one massive difference.
So when you say you can play Japanese versions, is it because it's a UK system, like a console, or how can you play
like you have the analog 3D that plays N64? Like the new console you got from Kaz?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Genesis version of that plays all Genesis cartridges from the worldwide.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Analog, the company, I mean, I love those guys. They make modern consoles that play retro games, but they're all HDMI out in, they look fantastic and everything.
They do.
So I have one of those. And yeah, I found a Japanese version of Wrestle War. And when I saw the cover, I was blown away, because I know what the cover looks like. But see if you can recognize this wrestler.
I can see it from a mile away. Yeah.
Like, that is insane, right?
Yeah, like, how did they not... Well, I guess it's in Japan, right?
I mean, it's even got his, bandana, like the Hogan Python power. And it says, Titan Hogan Python power. It is literally the Hulkster.
Literally.
Yeah.
So much for copyright,
I know. And in the background, you've got you can't really see it, but One Man Gang's in the background. Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody, Hawk from the Road Warriors is in the background.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Butcher, is that who that is too?
Yeah, I think it's Abby as well. He's on there. Yeah.
Oh,
but it's cool, because even the I got it with the manual as well.
Wrestle War, though, wasn't necessarily a wrestling game. It was more like a fighting game, though, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. If you look, I don't know if you can see on the back, but it's like you get this isometric view. And
actually, no, that's not what I thought it was.
Is it not?
I think that's more wrestling than fighting.
It is, but there is a fighting element to it. It's not like grapple, lock up. It is and it isn't. It's kind of like a button mashing arcade game.
How is the game?
Wrestle War is good. I haven't actually played this one yet. I only got this yesterday. So I haven't actually played it. But my memories of Wrestle War from playing it back in the 90s, does it say when this came out? 91. So I probably played this in the early, maybe 92, 93. It was good. I enjoyed it, but it's not, it just always sucked to me that the WWF games that came out for the Genesis or any other system were terrible. Like, always terrible.
Oh, yeah, all of them were.
Yeah.
They were made, a lot of them were made by Acclaim, I believe. And it's freaking brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think WWF games actually got good until, WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy.
I mean, well, yeah, pretty much.
The ones on the Super Nintendo.
WrestleMania 2000 came out before No Mercy. So
yeah, that was probably the first WWF wrestling game that I remember being outside of WrestleFest, the arcade.
If we're counting WCW, right? It was the first one to come out that was really good. Virtual Pro Wrestling and I forget what it was called. WCW versus the World, I think. I could be wrong on that.
I think it was World Tour was the card.
World
Versus the
Tour.
World was the one with Sting on the front, I think. That was a PlayStation game. But World Tour.
Virtual Pro Wrestling, the first one, and WCW game were pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah, those were the best. But I mean, like Super WrestleMania was terrible. WrestleMania, the arcade game, isn't really a wrestling game.
No, it's a fighting game. Yeah,
it's a fighting game. And then, previous to that, they're not great. I had fun playing. I played WrestleMania 2000 last week for the Retro Wrestling Arcade on the Game Boy, and it's terrible.
I can't imagine how it's any good at all.
It's nowhere. It's kind of one of those things where it should not have had the same name as the awesome Nintendo, the 64 game.
How could it even play like the same?
Doesn't. It's a completely different game. It's developed by different people. It just has the same name
they were hoping that you would buy it based on WrestleMania 2000.
100%, 100%, and it is. It's interesting what they've been able to put on a Game Boy. Like there is some fun stuff, but
when you say Game Boy, was that Game Boy Color?
No. Game Boy.
Regular Game Boy? I didn't think they'd be making games that late for the regular Game Boy.
Yeah, boy.
That is it. Holy cow, that is it. Are you sure that's not Game Boy Color? Because it looks like Game Boy Color.
It says Nintendo Game Boy there. Game Boy Color said Game Boy Color, didn't it?
Well, yeah, but just...
Yeah, this one just says Nintendo Game Boy. Because when I played it on like one of those Super Game Boys, for the Super Nintendo. So it actually did put extra color in there.
Hold on a second. And listen, that can't be right. They can't be... surely they were not making games for the regular Game Boy in 2000.
Well, it would have come out... This would have come out in early 2000 or late 99.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it right now. Yeah, WWF WrestleMania Game Boy.
Yeah. Because you gotta think, dude, we're at 64 at this point. So
Oh yeah. No. I was wrong. Apologies. It doesn't say Game Boy Color on this. It just says Game Boy, which is my mistake.
That was right.
Yeah, you were right. I was wrong. So, despite the fact that the game is based upon WrestleMania 2000, the game was released 5 months prior and 4 months prior on the Game Boy Color. So this would have come out in January of 2000. There you go. All right. Well, I stand corrected. But anyway, the game sucks. Don't play it. It's not good.
Fair.
But, as part of doing this retro wrestling arcade journey, I have tons of wrestling games that suck badly. But,
as most do.
I have some fun games too. Anyway, let's not talk about terrible video games. Let's talk about wrestling. I do have some fun games. None of them are behind me, but I do have some fun games. Somewhere. Yeah, anyway. So, some wrestling happened this past week. A lot of wrestling happened actually this past week. We had Backlash, we had Raw, and we've had NXT since we last spoke. And one thing that I do have to mention this. AJ and I recalled this at different times during the week. So things may have happened by the time you watch this that we do not know about yet because we're recording this in the future. Yeah, so Backlash happened this past weekend. Overall, as a pay-per-view or PLE, whatever you call them now, I thought it was pretty good. I, like most people out there, have Netflix, so I don't feel like I pay for wrestling anymore. So I never feel like, that PLE was bad.
I spent $60 and that sucked.
Right. It's not like that. The opening match, Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins. I like both of these guys a lot, but I just kind of watched that match and was like, okay.
Well, what was it that what kind of turned you off about it? Was there anything, or was it not a story that got it? Well, what was it? Because a lot of times people aren't as invested in the story, and so it can take away from the match.
No, I 100% agree with that, and also, I think this is going to sound awful, and I don't mean it to come off this way at all because I love him, but I think I'm just burnt out on Seth. Like, he's never, even when he's injured, he's never away, like ever. It always seems he's
Yeah,
around.
he's been going hard for a long time.
He's been going hard for a long time, and he's always been at the top of the card, where he deserves to be because he is fantastic. But I'm kind of bored of Bron Breakker and the Vision and the Seth Rollins thing already.
That's been going on definitely a minute, because it gets started. It gets started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who goes down first? Was it Braun who goes down first?
Actually, I think no, it was Seth first, I think.
Was it Seth first?
I think Seth got hurt, then Braun got hurt, and then Bronson got hurt. And so, and they've kind of
Austin Theory was the only one left.
Add Logan Paul.
And Logan. So, yeah. So the story's been going longer than you think based on the fact that so many guys have gotten hurt.
Right.
So
yeah, I just the match itself was great. They're Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins, two fantastic wrestlers. There was nothing about the match that I thought, that wasn't a great match. Like, no, they're fantastic match. But I didn't watch it and then come away feeling like, that was resolved. Because it wasn't. Yeah, it's time to wake up. It wasn't resolved, and I know that this storyline's going to carry on, and I'm ready for it to be done. Like, let's move on.
Yeah.
let's do something else.
Understandable based on how long it's went, based on how many guys have gotten hurt. It's kind of taken. I think it's taken away from the story. Oh, obviously, because it couldn't.
Right.
So maybe that had something to do with what you're going through.
Could be. If Seth hadn't got hurt, Seth probably would have still stayed in the Vision, right? And they would have carried on with Seth being, the leader, and maybe somewhere down the line, Bron would have turned babyface, maybe, or whatever would have happened. I think it happened. Yeah, you don't really know, which is kind of a shame. I don't remember the order of the matches, but I think up next was Trick versus Sammy. We both love Trick. The crowd were going bananas for Trick Williams. Like, whoop that Trick. You could just hear the crowd.
To see how they react, a international crowd to Trick Williams.
Right.
Like, I want to see, because, listen, part of the going and is being a part of the show, right? And I think international crowds do that better than any. They are able to be part of the show based on how much fun they're going to have. Like, France is a perfect example. Like, hey, you just have fun with this. So I just wonder how that's going to go. Meaning, I think they're going to be really loud for Trick. Singing "Whoop That Trick."
I agree. I 100% agree. And I think the thing with the international crowds is American crowds are spoiled. With pro wrestling. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean WWE is an American company. Of course, there's going to be more of it over there. It's simple. So whenever we do get wrestling here or in Europe, we're so hyped up for it. Hyped up. And
it's crazy. It's awesome in an amazing way.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And I think everyone's just going to love Trick. I mean, he's a world champion in the making. We can all see that. He looks fantastic. His promos are great. I don't know how long they'll have Lil Yachty with him, but at the moment, it's a team that works. I'm for it. It'd be fun to see. I was kind of always a bit of a Carmelo Hayes guy over Trick Williams when they were in NXT. And it kind of feels like Carmelo's lost a bit since Trick came up. I'd like to see Carmelo Hayes and Trick kind of do something again. I think there was a real chemistry between those guys, and I think it would be fun to see them do something again. Obviously, Sami Zayn is just Sami Zayn, man. He's great. He is what he is. Asuka versus Io Sky. Easily best match of the night. Easily.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was one of the better matches of the night. I had no idea what it would bring. Those girls are awesome. There's no doubt about it. What can you say?
Like, I don't know, the emotion in that match. I really felt like the passing of the torch. I believe that's what they were trying to do. And for me, it came across like the story they told made perfect sense. Asuka at the end embracing Io. And then on Raw this week, she said, it's your time now. I was waiting for somebody to come along and take over from me because Asuka is now semi-retired. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Like, that's the thing is she retired? Like, did she, like, I don't know what that means. Is she going part-time? What does that mean? I don't know. I do know that she, as I put on my Instagram, that she's a future Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that. So let's just see where it takes us. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that Asuka could be used, no doubt about it. I mean, if she were going into the recruit, process and whatnot, going to Japan and finding talent, that would make perfect sense to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's maybe Asuka. I mean, she's been based in the US now for close to 10 years, maybe. Maybe she wants to go home for a bit. I don't know, but, she's fantastic. I love her. The match that her and Io had was fantastic. If she's gone away for a bit now, that's okay. There's tons of up and coming guys and girls. Sol Ruka is making waves, which are no pun intended on her name or her gimmick. But yeah, I thought the Asuka Io Sky match was fantastic. I genuinely really enjoyed that, and we spoke about him on the last episode, the Danhausen tag team match with the mystery partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. Danhausen had Minihausen or Little Hausen, whatever it was, from his cloning machine. Minihausen, like, oh man, I just smile on my face the entire time. Kit and Miz are so good. The whole match was silly. It was silly, goofy fun, and I freaking loved it.
Minnie was gonna curse Kit, and Kit pulled out the mirror. Like, that's great.
There's like he threw Minnie back in the cloning machine, and then like 6 more came out. Like it's brilliant, just absolute comedy. And sometimes comedy in wrestling is okay. It's entertainment.
If we don't have any comedy, nothing, like we're missing out. I said this when I felt like we were going through a rut with wrestling in WWE, maybe 2000, I don't know, right before the pandemic. I was just like, man, we're missing like the entertainment part. Like it's all serious. It's all serious. And when it's all serious, I think we miss a lot of bringing in new fans and making them laugh. That's, again, we want to lose ourselves in this form of entertainment. And we've got to find ways to make sure that we entertain you in all aspects. So,
right.
Yeah, I like having a smile on my face when I'm watching wrestling. I want to laugh a little bit.
Me too. And I like the hard hitting stuff as well. Like, oh man, geez, that looked rough. But seeing Danhausen curse somebody, that's funny too. And he's not the only person doing the comedy stuff as well. I think it's not necessarily like comedy for the sake of it, but I think the Street Profits are hilarious.
Yeah, no,
I love watching the Street Profits. They're great. They're fun. It's entertainment. I'm thoroughly entertained. And then at the top of the card, you had the OTC himself against Jacob. Now, I do want to get your thoughts on this, but I truly believe Roman doesn't need to be world champion at all anymore, ever again, because there comes a time in every wrestler's at the top of the pyramid where they don't need a championship. They are who they are. AJ Styles is one, John Cena's one, The Rock is one, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels. There's a massive list of wrestlers where you're like, they never needed to be champion to be the top of the card. And I think with Roman now, after having that long reign of like nearly 4 years, he doesn't ever need to be a champion again. And I don't know, I really wanted Jacob to win. I understand why he's not world champion, but from your point of view,
we can't flip-flop the title like that. We just can't.
Right.
It's a terrible thing to do. It makes the title mean less when you flip-flop championships. It's not a good thing. So You got to take that into consideration. I remember when Cody won the World Championship and AJ Styles was going through his dark time, and the pitch was for AJ Styles to wrestle Cody Rhodes. I was like, well, freak. I just try to get this character over being just a vicious heel, and I'm about to lose if I'm wrestling Cody because we can't flip flop the title. That's not the way it's going to work. So it was nice being back in the main event, on the PLEs and whatnot. It's just knowing you're not going to win based on the story that we have to tell. Kind of sucks, but it was still great matches.
They were. I mean, I really enjoyed Jacob and Roman, and it's not done. We know there's more to this. They're going to have a succession of matches that will probably lead up to like a Hell in a Cell or something. We know that they're not done.
Thing, yeah,
it will carry on, and there'll be a 6-man with the Usos and the OTC, and Jacob will probably get MFTs or there's storyline here probably to take us until the end of the year, or at least Survivor Series, SummerSlam Survivor Series towards the end of the year. We get that. I just, looking back on it now, I think I wanted Punk to stay champion. I understand why, but I think Punk versus Jacob would have been fun. But I don't know the ins and outs of WWE. I'm not a WWE insider.
Listen, I work for WWE. I don't know anything. But that's not my job. My job is not to know what we're doing next with that. My job is, specific to what is, for AJ Styles, and that's not it. And so I don't worry myself with it. I don't need that job, nor do I want to be part of the storyline committee or whatever that is. That I just don't. No, that's not what I want to do.
On the whole, though, I thought it was a pretty good PLE. You?
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was well done. I mean, storylines are important, so we'll see where the next one takes us.
It's always going to be tough following WrestleMania, right? You have this massive 2-day event, all these superstars, all this, the pyro and the stage and all the celebrities and everything. So anything after that is going to seem, but that's okay. You need to calm down and reset. And we've seen that actually now on NXT with some newer people coming up as some other NXT members have gone up to the main roster now. This week, we saw the debut of Evil in NXT.
They're not calling him Evil though, right?
No, they're calling him.
Yeah, good luck with this.
Yeah. I've had it in my head all day.
That's why you're calling him Evil, because nor can I, as of right now.
Is it Nadaku? Nadaku?
Hey man, I don't even know. He's gonna be evil as long as I know him. So
he's gonna be evil as long as I know. Okay, so his name is now Nadaku. Nadaku, which I don't know if that means something.
Probably, I'm sure it does.
To him. I saw some chatter on the internet about people questioning the WWE and putting Evil, a former IWGP champion and very well-decorated wrestler, very, very highly decorated wrestler, highly skilled, highly talented. Why would they put him in NXT? Now, we had a brief conversation about this beforehand.
Can I just say this?
So we could.
Can I just say this? Shinsuke Nakamura was also in NXT. I'm just throwing that out there. Just.
Not everybody goes straight to the main roster.
Listen, I think there's certain things that we all need to learn in NXT, right? That will prepare us for the main roster. Even I can say this. I had to learn quick. Holy crap! They don't do this. They do this. This. Boom, 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 boom. Like it was a learning process, and I had to learn quick because I was on there. I couldn't afford to screw up or mess up or whatever it is you want to call it. I wanted to stay on the main roster, and I had to impress the guy in charge.
Yep, right.
So we don't want anybody to go up to the main roster and have to learn like that. I don't think that's a good idea. It's better to go. It's just a smooth transition. Boom. You know where all the cameras are. You know not to turn your back to a camera. Like a lot of people don't know that. That was a big thing with me. And Stu, our cameraman, he was like, "Hey, AJ, make sure you turn this way instead of putting your back to the hard camera." There's little things that you do that people don't even think of. Where you just don't turn your back to the hard camera. It sounds silly, but I get it. It's important. So we have to make sure that, Evil, as we're going to call him, doesn't turn his back to the hard camera. That he knows where all of them are and how we film and everything and produce. Because you don't do that in Japan. There's no producers in Japan.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter where the cameras are. They just shoot. They don't know, at least when I was there, they didn't know that it was entertainment. It was a sport. So the camera guys were not involved in the booking meetings, whatever the meetings in general. So like we need to know where all this stuff is. It's important. At least I had TNA before I had, New Japan. I was in TNA. I knew where the cameras were, and I knew, to play to the cameras. But still, there's certain things that we want to have in place before you go to the main roster.
And it makes perfect sense. When anytime you start a new job, you have to learn how to do that job. Yes, you may have experience in that field, but that doesn't mean to say you know how to work in that company.
There's certain things that they do in that company, whatever company that is, that they may have not done in the other one. And it's important to them that that's done their way, not someone else's.
Right. No, I mean, it makes sense, and I understand that some of the people that watch this podcast may not be as involved in professional wrestling as we are. So, I just want to make it, try to make it make sense for everybody. A lot of people go to NXT to adapt, and that's not a bad thing. When Stephanie joined, she said, I had the choice of going to the main roster or NXT. I wanted to work on my English. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. It makes sense. And Stephanie was in NXT for a cup of coffee. She wasn't there long. Evil won't be in NXT for 2. I don't think he will be. He's already challenging Tony D'Angelo for the title. Whether he'll be an NXT champion before he goes up, don't know. But I don't see him staying there for very long because he's a main roster guy. He looks like a main roster guy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But, I don't think NXT is like a bad thing at all. I think NXT is great. I really, Joe Hendry was the TNA World Champion, went to NXT after being at WrestleMania and fighting Randy Orton. It's not a bad thing to go to NXT. It really isn't.
Right. I agree.
And you're actually you're hitting the road again this week to go and do some more training, observing. What is it you're doing?
Training. Coaching. So
coaching.
Yeah, I would say it's more that I'm just helping out a friend while he gets some stuff done to the old knees of his body. But other than that, I'm just filling in. Whatever they need, I want to be the guy. I like to be needed, and needed is a good thing. And the fact that I get to go down there and enjoy myself because I still I still have passion for wrestling and showing these things. So hopefully that passion that will bleed over, to the performance center because I hope they're excited about learning because it's fun.
Right.
This is like the best thing. Like you're gonna have the best job in the world if you just freaking have a passion for it. Like it's gonna be fun. Like you're gonna enjoy every minute of it. Listen, when I was getting trained, I loved training.
Right.
So I hope they feel the same way.
I'm sure they will. I mean, we're a few months removed now from your actual in-ring retirement from the Royal Rumble. How do you feel? We're 5 months away now from your retirement almost. Like, how are you feeling?
I'm excited about the next steps, because I don't know exactly what they are, but being a part of the WWID and the coaching and be able to go to the performance center and working with talent, like going over stuff like, there's a time when we have open rink and we can just work on whatever we want to work on. That's fun. It's like, hey man,
Right.
I got all this information up here in this brain. I got it. Let's get it out of there. Let me show you this, because I know a lot of the moves that isn't done anymore that other guys used to do really well, and be like, hey, you know, we should do this one. You should try this. Let's put your own little spin on it. You know, little things like that are fun to me.
Right. Did you, like, when you were, so back in the late 90s when you were training, it was like 98, 99 you were training?
99, Wikipedia. 99.
Not 98.
Not 98.
So how, when you started training, you had your first match within a few months, right?
Within a month.
Within a month,
yeah,
right?
It was really done.
And you've said before that it was because of your gymnastic prowess.
Yes.
At that point, though, you were already bitten by the bug, and you were like, "Oh, I'm all in on this."
Oh, so all in, dude. I can't tell you how bad it was. It was bad. Yeah, I wanted it so bad. It was ridiculous. So anytime there was training, especially after having my first match, man, I just wanted to have as many as I could.
Right.
And I was able to get that. I was able to have. I was wrestling at least even when I very first started, I was having at least 2 matches a week, and then it got 3 matches a week. So that's a lot for a beginner. A lot.
So the scene there down in Georgia in the early 90s was actually pretty, I mean, not just Georgia, but like, it was actually a pretty good.
Yeah, we had a place that I do on a Wednesday night. Saturday night I would do Wild Side, and then I would drive up to Atlanta and wrestle at a bar called Good Old Days, where a lot of the WCW talent that were in the power plant would wrestle as well. So I met a lot of those guys before they ever were in WCW. So, like, yeah, man, it was a lot of wrestling.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
I saw a breakdown of all the matches that I've ever had, and I'm like, that's totally wrong. That's way off. You wouldn't even know. How would you ever know that I only wrestled 2 matches in 99? You know?
Right.
Like, I wrestled way more than that.
Yeah, well, that's what this podcast is for, is to put, we're gonna change Wikipedia. We're gonna make things right.
Good luck.
According to the Phenomenally Retro podcast, because the man himself is saying, like, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. So
you know what? I wish I could tell you.
You're gonna go on there and be like, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong.
Swore. Let me see. There we go. Wikipedia. Let's see. Names. Jason Styles. What? I've never been Jason Styles. Jason Styles? When? Where? Why?
Where?
Yeah, so that's another thing right there.
So your first wrestling name was not actually Jason Styles. It was Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, because all I had was a singlet that I took from the college that I wrestled at. Never gave it back, so I guess that was stealing. And I had some wrestling shoes, from college wrestling.
Yep.
And they gave me a mask to wear. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Masks are cool anyway, so why not? I lost my match, but it just made me even more hungry to have another one. Like, I was dying. But yeah, 1 match was Mr. Olympia. 1 match, Air Styles. So.
Oh, okay. You so after Mr. Olympia, you immediately changed to Air Styles?
No. When I went to WCW and was tagging with Air Bears, they called me Air Styles for a second.
Yeah. I didn't think that was that bad, actually. I thought Air Styles was okay. I mean, it's better than Mr. Olympia. It's better than Jason Styles. I'll say that.
Well, I mean, Jason's not bad.
I mean, no, there's nothing wrong with the name Jason.
I'm okay with AJ.
Yes. Yeah. Air Styles, AJ Styles. Like, did you ever wear the fighter pilot outfit?
1 time.
Was that one time? Yeah. If you're watching this and have no clue what I'm talking about, go on the internet, Google is your friend. AJ Styles and Air Paris as fighter pilots.
Air Raid.
That's all I'm going to say. It's worth seeing.
They wanted a fighter pilot. There's going to be the best one they've ever seen.
You're going to be the best dang fighter pilot you've ever seen.
Top Gun, baby.
Why would you need a fighter pilot wrestler? That's what I don't understand. I didn't, you know.
I don't know.
How long? So in WCW, you were literally. How many matches did you have? 5, 10, less? 5 matches. 5 matches.
5 full
And
matches.
all of these matches are available to watch, right?
No, because some of them were live events or house shows.
Ah, okay. Okay. I wonder what would have happened if a young AJ Styles, if WCW hadn't folded, would we have had, would Air Styles have gone on to become AJ Styles? Who knows?
Who knows?
That's interesting.
I mean,
who knows?
That's why I say everything happens for a reason. And I'm so thankful that it did. I was totally depressed when WCW went out of business and WWE didn't pick up my contract. But in the end, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yes, we did get to see some great wrestling and some great matches from that. You know, I go back now because of the WWE YouTube channels are fantastic. I watch a lot of WCW, the Vault channel for WCW.
Yeah.
There's some really great wrestling stuff on there. Really, like, there's a lot of terrible stuff on there as well. But I mean, if you go back and look at, you know, before the Attitude Era, WWF weren't exactly firing on all cylinders. It was not the best all the time. There was a lot of I see a lot of people slating like 90s WCW, but there was so much great stuff there. If you just looked past bypass the NWO stuff.
Like there's some stinkers too. Like we thought we had like all this, man, the Attitude Era. Watch it again. You'll be like, man, it kind of sucked.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I wasn't around for the NWO at the time. Like I wasn't watching wrestling. So I didn't realize the impact it had. I came at the tail end of it when the NWO sucked, when there were like 30 members and it was all like old WWF guys and Scott Norton and a few others. And it was like, man, this is not good. This is not good. And then, you know, it all kind of like diluted and changed and stuff. Were you actually watching WCW at the time of NWO?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You were the only person who wasn't.
Right. Okay.
Everybody else was watching it. Because you know, when Stone Cold, when Hulk Hogan turned heel, we're like, what the heck? Like it was pretty unbelievable. So I mean, especially like me living in Georgia and WCW being out of Atlanta, it was. I felt like it was a bigger deal down here. It was more. WCW is more of a southern wrestling company, right? And then WWE is the north. So, but at that point, WCW just took over for what, 83 weeks or something like that.
Yes, yeah. It was number one. I mean, we never really talk about AJ Styles as like the wrestling fan. We know that you're a wrestling fan, obviously, because you wouldn't be. There is no wrestler that is not a fan of wrestling. It is an impossibly hard job to do without being a fan. Well, right? You have to have the love.
Like I said, like in the early days when I was a kid, I didn't have cable, so I couldn't watch it. So it was very difficult for me to see it. I always enjoyed it if I got to see it, but never got to as much as I'd like to. Anyway, but then as we got older, you know, I'm in college and like people are watching wrestling, and it just kept going from there. So I just feel like everybody was watching WCW at that time.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and I watch and I read, and it seems like everybody was into wrestling. As a like WWF, WCW, everybody loved wrestling. Whether it was the Monday Nitro or whether it was Raw, everybody loved it. It was like this whole new thing. And yeah, I got to admit, when I did get back into wrestling, I probably did get back into it a bit late, you know, kind of late 90s. The Austin thing had already happened with McMahon, and the NWO had already happened, and I was at the tail end of both of those. I mean, they were still fun. I still enjoyed them, and I've gone back and I've watched them, but yeah, it's interesting. Did you ever go to like a WCW live event or anything like that?
No. I never. If I went to WCW, it was because I was being used as an extra.
Ah, okay. Oh, that's right. You're an ambulance driver.
I was.
In the background of something.
Jeff Jarrett threw me into a wall or something. Happy to do it too.
Yeah.
I was also did a DDP segment. You know, me and Air Paris. We're trying to get books. I don't get an autograph. I can't even remember. But yeah, happy to do it.
Happy to do it. See, for all those people out there think I don't know anything about AJ's career,
Yeah,
I do.
little do
I
they
do
know.
some. Little do they know. I mean, if you go back and watch early NWA TNA, I'm in some of those segments with different wrestlers. Not AJ, but I did stuff with Frankie Kazarian and other people. Yeah. Yeah, don't come at me in the comments. Cool. Well, this has been fantastic. We did want to bring you an interview with John Riggs, but unfortunately our timetables got a little bit switched up.
Yeah.
So the way this is going to happen is if there is an additional part of this podcast, it's because we made it work.
Yeah.
If there is no additional part of this podcast, thank you for joining us.
Well, listen, we're going to
fun
get John
do
on
this.
here. I'm looking forward to talking to him because I enjoy his YouTube show. So
Me too.
I
I'm
really
a
hope
big
we get
fan.
a chance to talk to him.
We will get a chance to talk to him, whether it's on this episode or another episode. We are going to do that, but be on the lookout. Make sure you are subscribed because we are going to do another live episode. Maybe next week or the week after. We are gonna try and do a live episode at least once a month. I think that's what we
That's cool.
initially said because we enjoy doing them.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we were able to make it work, and as you can see, we have Mr. John Riggs here with AJ and myself. So stoked to have you here, John. AJ and I are both big fans. Been watching your YouTube channel for a long time. Not quite bordering on stalker level, but I have watched it quite a lot.
I'll take it.
Actually, just watched your playthrough of the enhanced version of Jaws today.
Yeah.
That game was always terrible, but you kind of made me want to play it again.
Well, that's what's nice about what Limited Run Games is doing for this. And I didn't know this was even an option. They just reached out to me saying, hey, we have this Jaws, like just the new version, whatever they had. Didn't really even think about it. And I grew up playing Jaws, as like most people. You see that rainbow, the LJN, you're just like, well, I don't know, but we'll at least give it a shot. They had all the cool licensing with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street was pretty cool. You later in life you learned that LJN was just the publisher. They didn't actually make most of these games.
Right.
Like Friday the 13th was made by Atlas, and everyone loves Atlas. So it's like, Jaws was one of those games we played it. If you figure out how it plays, it's actually not as bad as some of the other ones. But when they said they were coming out with a new version of Jaws, it's like, I'll give it a shot. And I didn't realize there was like the newer version that kind of goes through levels and goes through stages and has a different storyline for each one. So it's like, it's Jaws 2, it's Jaws 3 or whatever. Like that playthrough was literally my first time even looking at it. And I was blown away with how it was. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Like I was telling you earlier, that I was at a convention in Bristol, the Bristol Video Games Expo. One of the guys who made that version of Jaws was actually there. And he was like, hey, thanks for playing the game. I was part of the team. And I was like, dude, you have to do this with more of these classic NES games.
Yeah.
Re-release them, but give them a new storyline, give them a new something or other. It was wonderful. And he's like, and you had that twinkle in his eye. He couldn't say anything, but he was like, oh, we might be working on something.
Oh,
So
stay tuned. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Right.
Who knows? What we need
now, after you saying that, now I feel kind of bad about LJN because I really despised him. It's like a claim, when I play a WWE wrestling game, I'd like, I freaking hate Call
my
Flame.
God. All those great. I mean, you still play them. You're just like I have to support it because I'm such a big wrestling fan. And you play through these wrestling games, and no matter what comes out, whether it be WrestleMania and then even like Steel Cage Challenge later when the Super Nintendo version came out, Super WrestleMania came out, and then Steel Cage Challenge for the NES. You're just like, you hope for the best, and it's like at the end of the day, pro wrestling's still the best one, and it was like the first wrestling game for the
It was, so that was going to be one of my questions. Your favorite wrestling game for the NES was which one? Because for me, there's only two: Pro Wrestling, which was excellent, and then Tecmo Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, Tecmo World Wrestling.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done. I like the cutscenes as they did really well with.
The cinematics.
But other than that, it all sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I liked WCW. All right. The grappling system was a little weird because you had to punch them and kick them to wear them down first, and then you grapple them, and then you could even choose which of the 4 moves you wanted to do, and then each one had a signature move. The other problem with it, and I didn't know this at the time, of course, but then later getting into Famicom games and seeing the imports, WCW was just a port of. It was a game that had all the licensed wrestlers at the time, but they weren't licensed. So the Japanese version of WCW has Giant Baba, Antonio Inoki, Ricky Choshu. So it's like they use Sting as Ricky Choshu, so they both do the Scorpion Deathlock. But interesting.
This all came about because I have this other show on Ring Classics where I play through classic wrestling games. I'm going through not necessarily the history of wrestling games, but I have like a ton of behind me of like terrible wrestling games. And I recently played this, to which AJ has never. He was not aware of this. It's not good. I'm not going to say it's good, but I was a Sega kid growing up because in the UK we did not have Nintendo. It just was not a thing here. So for me, Sega. I had, where is it? I had Pro Wrestling and also the Rocky, the boxing game. Those two set in my memory. So when I fired up Pro Wrestling the other day to record for that show, I had a ton of fun with it. And he's like, the look on his face is like,
Listen, I said, I tweeted, or I guess, I don't know if I'm Xing, I don't know what, I haven't figured out what we're saying. I said this about the Sega games, the Master System games. They did a lousy job of making me want to buy their game based on how it looked on the cartridge. And like when you look at a Nintendo Entertainment cartridge, or like it looks, you get to turn around, you can look at the back, it looks amazing, like everything about it, even if the game sucked.
Look at those.
Probably gonna buy. Yeah, I mean, there you go.
Like, I get it.
Just the label.
Yeah, I get it.
We'll see if you find it used. Like, there's no indication. And one of the nice things about Famicom games is sometimes they put screenshots on the back of the actual cartridge.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
all we had was like, don't put it in alcohol, whatever it said.
Yeah, like I haven't actually. I still have not played Pro Wrestling on the NES yet because I am. AJ's like kind of makes fun because I'm not an emulation guy. I am a play on modern systems.
Yeah, well, hold on a second, Tony. Let's not jump past. Are you an emulation guy, John? Will you play emulators, or do you have to play the cartridge game?
I don't mind either way. If the physical version exists, I'll grab the physical 100% of the time. But if I just want to look at the game, it's a nice way to just go through and see what all's out there. So I have no problem with emulation. I have a Mister. That's what I capture all my footage on. But I have a couple of other consoles. There's so many great new games that are coming out. Like, people like myself are making newer games for these older systems. So there's new games for Nintendo, new games for Genesis. Some of those, I may not have the ROM. So I have a way to hook that through the HDMI. I don't mind emulation, especially to experience a lot of these great Famicom games that came out that might be a little harder to track down.
Yeah, maybe it's just me then, but I'm if I'm not playing on actual hardware or a physical game on modern systems, I have some of the analog consoles and a Retron and etc. Sure. I won't play it, but I am a big fan of this game.
Oh, very good. The Tecmo World Wrestling. One of the best.
And so I picked up the Famicom version as well.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And it's literally the same thing, but one's in Japanese.
It is.
So
yeah,
it's a fun thing to do.
Nice thing to see that with and I forgot what it's called in Japan. It's like the Gekken Teko Ritsu, and it's always like Fighting Spirit, whatever all the Japanese names. But when it comes to emulation, like I have a game here I can show because it happens to be right in front of me. Is when I was in the UK in Bristol, I went to Retro Bristol, and I picked up WrestleMania by Ocean. Lord. I thought LJN was bad. Ocean.
Yeah.
My goodness. And it even has like some screenshots on the back. This one is not good. So here's the game. It's on a cassette.
The Commodore 64 version.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
I
the
remember
Commodore 64 cassette. But the real reason I picked it up was because it came with the enamel pins.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So I
such
actually
a big Boss Man. So
I actually had that game
I don't
when
even
it came
think
out.
the Boss Man is in this game. And of
He's
course
not,
it's from the UK, so you got British Bulldog right on front there. But that's
I played that when it came out.
I don't need emulation.
It's funny. It's funny that they put the British Bulldog because of English, right? Because AJ Styles had made some noise on the indie scene, or more, I think maybe popular in England a lot more than I should have probably. So when the Impact game came out over there, I was on the cover. But on the US version, I'm in the background throwing a punch. You can barely see me.
Wait a minute.
Hey. So that I get it. I guess
I don't have my copy of the Impact game. Yeah, it was really cool, like going to a store and buying the Impact game because I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then the American version, like,
it's not really a big deal over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was cool about what they did with the UK version as well? You got a DVD of like highlights of TNA, so
Oh,
it was a
wow.
great way to introduce. If you weren't familiar with the promotion, it was a great way to introduce the promotion and the game. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's a terrible game. It had its issues, but I think a lot of
Well,
wrestling games
what a
do.
lot of people don't know is that they had to rush it out early because Sony was, I guess, their date of getting stuff out there was quicker than they thought, so they had to shove it out the door as quick as they could, and a lot of stuff didn't get put in there. It's because man, we did a lot of motion capture, and there was a lot of that not in the game. So that's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
Did you do motion capture for you and other people?
Yeah, we had it was me, Low Key, Christopher Daniels. I can't remember if Sanjay Dutt got in there, but we did a lot of the motion captures, and then just kind of figure out, between those three, which better suits the character or the sale that we were doing for that character.
Got it.
In the world of motion capture, did you ever do anything over the top? Just like, I'm really going to rib this guy. I'm just going to act a fool. I'm not going to cinch it right or something like that just to...
Well, the thing is like they had us at first. They had us on a crash pad, right? So that we could take bumps and it didn't hurt. But because of that, it didn't look right because we were sinking into the crash pad.
Oh, right.
So they put plexiglass on top of it. And then
That
we just started,
purpose, right?
Yeah, breaking that, slamming each other. We're busting that stuff up, and it hurt. So those,
Yeah,
man. So we didn't actually. We tried to keep each other's, as safe as it possibly could be, because that kind of stuff hurt. But it was an experience, which was a good thing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like fun.
No,
I'm
it
not
wasn't.
No.
Although I wish I could go back to 2K and do my own Styles Clash, because I think mine looks like, I don't know, does it look as impactful? That's just me saying it because it's my move.
there you go.
Right.
You think?
That's a good thing. You've been in quite a few of the 2K games now. Do you have to do no stuff every time, or do they just update how you look?
They just update. Well, we'll get scanned.
Right.
Go around here. So we'll get that and probably a full body. Sometimes take pictures of our full body and we just whatever gear we have on. But we're not. I never did any of my moves. Somebody else did them. Obviously.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's me looking at 2K. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, yeah, the man's right. Like 2K, he is willing to do it. Please, just fly him out. He'll do it.
It was. I don't know that I'm willing to do it now.
You'll be in the Legends pack now.
A little rusty.
Actually, yeah. Next 2K, you will be a legend, a Hall of Fame legend. Interesting. Who knows?
Maybe we'll have the AJ Styles, the road to victory or whatever that continuation thing.
Yeah, just throw the golden AJ in there as a
bring him back
or something like
that.
Bring him back, yeah.
Even back to the TNA days, and now that there's that working relationship, I'd love to do. That's what I discovered AJ Styles. I've always heard the name, but it wasn't until I started watching TNA. It's like, I like this guy, and then it was back in like the Shark Boy days and the Beer Money days and all that. So that's when I started watching TNA, and what a great time for wrestling anyway. But
you just kind of made me think when you talk about Shark Boy when he was doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin Shark Boy.
That's what I was watching.
Dude, it's so funny. Hell yeah! I was like, you got to be kidding. And
it was so good.
It was good. It was really good.
It was good. It was good.
It was a lot of the don't fire me Eric Young. It was just It was a fun time for TNA, and that's when I got really hooked on it. So
yeah,
we talk about the entertainment in wrestling quite a lot and how you need that. It's great to have these good technical matches or these good high spots, but if there's no comedy occasionally, we spoke about Danhausen recently.
Oh, I love Dan.
He's brilliant. He's doing something different, which is good because he stands out because he's doing something different. But while we're talking about wrestling, so most people who are watching this, and myself, AJ, we know you as a video game guy, video game fan, promoter. Talk about you're also a big wrestling guy, which I didn't know for the longest time. And then when I found out, I was like, I got to talk to that guy one day. Yeah.
Perfect.
So when did you actually start watching or become aware of wrestling? Was it combined with the video games or previous to?
Yeah, it was kind of previous too. I was, just like y'all, I was that Hulk Hogan rock and wrestling, that generation, that explosion that happened with Hulkamania and all that. I was never a Hulk Hogan guy. But that's what kind of led me, because I mean, it was all over television. It was on CBS. It was on MTV. It was everywhere. You couldn't avoid it. Right. And my dad was a wrestling fan, so it was on TV too. And then my older brother was the one who also kind of got us all involved, because he never missed anything. He would watch everything.
Right.
You know, WWF, NWA back in the time. We'd have. I'm from the Northwest, so the Oregon wrestling would come through town every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
So the more I would watch this, the more I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I like this a lot. So I got hooked during that time, kind of in that kind of early to mid 80s. And then just kind of continued on, you know, just from there as well, and just always been a fan. And then even when I hit high school, you know, me being 6'5", you know, I'm 275 pounds now.
Right.
But even after high school, I was like, I could probably do this. I think I was much more athletic back then, of course, weren't we all?
Right.
So I started looking into wrestling schools and all that. I mean, of course, we did like backyard stuff, and we never had like backyard wrestling matches, so to speak. But we just had like an old mattress. It's like, okay, I'll suplex you, then you power bomb me, and we'll film it. I still have these videotapes somewhere too.
Who the heck was power bombing you, John? Nobody. You've never taken a power bomb.
I promise you, I have. Sometimes it was either more of a power bomb, or sometimes it'd be like, I'll come up for like a flying head scissors, but you just just crack me down, and I'd tuck my head and everything, or do the best I could. It was a mattress, so it was
the best.
It was all for fun, and I always liked the submission holds anyway. So we would just tie each other up. I love the Royal Octopus hold and all that. So,
John, then, if Hulk Hogan wasn't your guy when it comes to WWF at the time, who was it?
My first favorite was Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh.
So
yeah, that's good.
So, and then even with WrestleMania for the NES, you can do the cartwheel. I was that's kind of fun.
That's what about the show. I was like, so how pissed were you when all he did was a cartwheel on the freaking WrestleMania?
It was better than nothing. It was at least something. I mean, I Bam Bam Bigelow and then Jake the Snake Roberts. Were definitely the guys I was really into. I love Jake Roberts because, especially during a day when everyone was yelling and screaming and spitting into a microphone, he just looked straight into your soul and didn't raise his voice. And I was like, I love how this guy speaks. I was just drawn into him. So those were my guys. And of course, later the Undertaker, and then whoever else along the way too. So
you think you were drawn to bigger guys because Jake's pretty tall, Undertaker's pretty tall, Bam Bam's not small either. Where I was drawn toward, Rey Mysterio and the high flyers of WCW. I was kind of drawn toward those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I was always growing up tall. I was always tallest in my class. Maybe not the tallest in the school, but I was always the classroom picture. I was always in the back, in the middle, just for my height. So the guys who were kind of taller, huge fan of Sid Justice when he was in. So Sid, and then even Attitude Era. I was I loved Test. Kevin Nash.
We spoke about Test earlier.
Okay, so we spoke about the if we had to choose 5 big men, and we're talking about big guys. My first one, I'll give you my first 2, but my first one is probably the Undertaker. He just athletic, everything that you could possibly do as a big man, he could do it. Choke slams and everything, power bombs, he's got it. My number 2 is Abyss.
Oh, sure.
I think that he is very underrated.
Very
if
underrated.
You've ever been in the ring with him, he was brilliant, and I had a lot of matches with him. So, but that's my number 2, and then it gets a little complicated right there as far as big men go. But those are my number 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I had to do a top 5. I mean, that could be a whole episode in and of itself. But yeah, I mean, you have to give it up to the Undertaker. I loved the fact that, it didn't make sense for his character to do all these things, but he would pull it out every once in a while. You're like, whoa, that was, jumping, diving over the top.
Oh, yeah.
It's where'd that come from, one of my other favorites is, I was a huge fan of Japanese pro wrestling when I learned the whole tape trading thing. Man, Mike Awesome,
man, that's such a good one.
Yeah.
That's such a good one.
Yeah, when I found him through FMW, and I was just like, this guy, because he's doing power bombs off the top rope and all that. I'm like, and it takes someone like a Masato Tanaka or the other Japanese wrestlers at the time to actually take one of those and tell the story. But yeah, it was just Yeah, there's so
Mike
many
Awesome was
just
different.
great big men, and those are the ones I kind of associated myself with. I loved Rey Mysterio, I loved Jushin Thunder Liger, I loved even Chris Jericho in the WCW days. I watched like WCW for the cruiserweights, the high flyers, knowing I wasn't going to ever do anything like that, so I didn't associate like I couldn't see myself as them doing that, but I could see
Right.
myself, being a big dude power bombing someone.
Yeah, isn't that funny that the way you just said that you watch WCW for the cruiserweights, you watch maybe WWE for the heavyweights, but it's the same thing because All Japan had the heavyweights and New Japan had the cruiserweights, and that's like kind of the thing that was the dynamic in both all four of those companies. Like they had their small guys, but somebody did something. A group of guys did something very well, better than the other group of guys. I just found that ironic that that's that way it was in Japan and the United States.
It's just the way it was. I mean, and now everyone can do everything. So now you got guys like Dijak doing moonsaults and corkscrews, and it's like this dude. I mean, and I did a seminar with him because I'm also training and do stuff like that with wrestling. He's just insane to watch, especially live.
Yeah. He's definitely a big guy too, and he's able to do a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because it seems to me like
I'd be like, stop doing that. I can't get any bigger.
Bad. Wait a minute.
This is all I got.
One of the things that I loved about The Undertaker as well is he seemed to never stop adapting. When he was the badass character, he started doing some submission stuff, some MMA, like ground and pound. Like it was an evolution of...
You evolve, man. That's how
he carried on doing stuff rather than just, I don't want to single him out but Hulk Hogan did like 3 things. He only ever needed to do 3 things, but it's nice when a character, especially one like The Undertaker that's been around for so long, does adapt. We were also talking as well, like Big Show. When Big Show was in WCW and then early WWF, he was amazing. Drop kicks off the top and like crazy.
Yeah, I saw him do a kip up once in Japan. I mean, not in Japan. But Big Show would do that, and the whole audience, the Japanese audience, very reserved, but they popped for that for sure.
Well, you just seen him hop over the top rope to get in the ring. You're like, what the heck? And once you meet him, you're like, how in the world did this guy break his legs jumping? He's such a massive human being. Like it was pretty impressive.
I've seen him live, but I've never met him. I didn't actually get into meeting wrestlers until I got more involved with like our local wrestling promotions and all that. But he's one dude I would love to meet sometime even at a wrestling con or a Comic-Con or something.
Do you do things like that, John? Do you go to like the wrestle cons or the Comic Cons? I know you go to the computer ones.
I do. I definitely do the video game conventions here in the United States, and some of those also incorporate the local wrestlers, which is great. So I'll watch those. Sometimes they'll even bring in wrestlers as guests. In fact, Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina, I had my convention table because I attend these conventions just as a YouTube guest, and I bring the video games I make. And then I'm along with the other invited guests. And at Southeast Game Exchange, I was right next to your buddy Luke Gallows.
Man, he's a nut.
So it's another great big guy, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up chatting for a while, and it just super kind with his time. And he was like, "Oh, he's like, you got to make it to Japan sometime." I was like, I've never been to Japan yet, but he's like, "Oh, if you go here, I'm going to follow you on social media. Let me know when you go to Japan. I'll tell you all the cool spots to hit up." And I was like, "Man, I just want to go to Ribera."
Yeah,
that's what I want to do. Super Potato, Ribera. I can go home and retire.
Yeah, listen, I would say if you're going to go to Super Potato, go to the one in Osaka. So that's a bullet train to Osaka. It's got the better. It's a little bit cheaper in Osaka. The games are, and it's better. It's bigger. So
perfect.
Yeah, man. I've gotten a lot of stuff from Japan. A lot, way more than I should have. I've really bought some luggage to carry all the stuff that I bought to get it home.
I believe it. Yeah, I'm afraid I'd be the same too. I need less stuff in my life, but it would be hard to pass up.
We're going to have WWE fund a trip to Japan for this podcast.
Well, one of the promotions.
That's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
You never know. We'll take the podcast on the road.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, one day we would like to start doing things like live podcasts at conventions and things like that. I think that would be fun.
Well, if you're looking for video game conventions, I know I attend about one a month, so I know all the organizers. We can absolutely make that happen.
Well, where's the next one that you're going to be at? Right offhand?
Yeah, the next one's Too Many Games in Oaks, Pennsylvania. right near Philadelphia. So that's Too Many Games. And Too Many Games is one of the three major big ones. I would say Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which is like a 3-hour drive for me, so I'm there every year. Midwest Gaming Classic, which I just attended. And then Too Many Games are like the three major ones, like the biggest ones. I shouldn't say major. As far as square footage wise, everything going on.
I was about to say, what makes it big? Just
yeah, just huge
building.
vendor hall. Great guests that they bring. They bring in a lot of the voice actors and all that.
Wow.
And then some of them like Too Many Games, like Midwest Gaming Classic. They also bring in pro wrestling. There's a huge crossover with pro wrestling and video games. So and they'll just bring in the local promotion. A lot of times I'll be there too, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna hop in the ring?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm nowhere close to ring ready." And it's like they bring in their own crew and have their own thing going on. So if any, I can always announce. I'm a ring announcer locally. So we'll see one day. But yeah, those are the three main ones. And then Southeast Game Exchange is great. Game On Expo in Phoenix is another great one. I mean, I could just start naming. I mean, they're all fantastic.
Right. How about this? Is there anyone close to Georgia? Is there anyone that's closer to Georgia?
Yeah, there's one called Southern Fried Gaming Expo.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Yes,
I've never been there. I know the organizer. Like I've met him a couple of times because he always attends and just has a table at Southeast Game Exchange where he just promotes his show because it's close enough, right, to South Carolina. Met him a few times. Great guy. It's one convention I've never been to. So what a great time for my first attendance.
There you go.
If we bring the podcast on the road.
Heck yeah.
Why not? Why not? I mean, I'm actually, I'm going to, I don't know, because you do go to gaming conventions markets in the UK. We have one coming up this Sunday, which I'm going to take my wife to. She doesn't know it yet, so she's going to really enjoy that.
She's going to hate it, yeah.
She is going to absolutely hate it, but I told her that I need someone there with me to film footage.
There you go. She'll have a good time.
Too busy.
My wife attends with me sometimes, and she always has a good time, so.
Yeah, so I'll be at the Birmingham Games Market. By the time you guys actually watch this, I would have already been. So if you saw me there, nice to see you again. Hi, how's it going? Yeah. So big wrestling fan. When did the gaming start? Because for me, it started in the Commodore 64, back in the sort of late 80s, early 90s. For some reason, none of my friends at school had consoles. We all had home computers. None of us did anything with the home computers like programming or anything like that, but it was Commodore 64. A couple of us had Spectrums, and I think one of the richer kids had an Atari ST, which was mind-blowing at the time. So for me, it was sort of like late 80s. When did gaming start for you?
I grew up with the Atari 2600, but also growing up in the 80s, we had an Atari 2. Like, we also played board games. We also went outside. We also touched grass. We also had an Atari. I loved my Atari, and I'm also, I'm from a pretty big family. I'm the sixth of 7 kids growing up in a big old household with one television. And this is back in the 80s. Like, you wouldn't have a second television. It's like, that'd be like having a second microwave. Why would you have 2 TVs? You already got one. So we did that too. It wasn't until when the NES came out, I didn't get one at launch, of course. But when I finally got an NES for myself in 1980, it must have been like late 88 or so. And then my dad actually brought home, because I was always playing it whenever he'd come home. He bought just a secondary TV just for the Nintendo, and then I could play it basically nonstop as much as I wanted. So at that point, I'm like, this is now my new favorite thing in the world. This and pro wrestling. So it was around that time, kind of like late-ish 80s, where I was like, okay, this is now my whole personality, and continue on. And it was back in the day when you had to make friends at school just to trade games and borrow games from other people. Right. After a while, then you could start to rent video games at video stores and all that. So that's like most, especially who grew up around my time. It's not like I bought I didn't have any money, so it's like maybe the one game for Christmas or birthday or something like that. But yeah, other than that, you just kind of take advantage of every possible avenue you could to explore all these new great games coming out.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the pluses with Commodore 64 is you could record the tapes, so you could dub tapes and have that. But like AJ, you were a Nintendo player from the late 80s too, right?
Yeah. So we had an Atari, which I don't know how we afforded that, but my dad had an Atari. And so the first game I ever flipped was Asteroids, which is a big deal to me. That that was beating a game on the Atari, right? You just got to flip it.
Yep.
And then my cousins had a Nintendo, and I was blown away how good it looked. It was awesome looking.
Right.
And then I begged my parents, and they surprised me on my birthday. Sounds like we got ours at the same time, John, because I wasn't quite a teenager yet, but I was creeping up there when I first got the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 or 11 or something like that, I'm guessing.
That sounds about right. Yeah, it was. I remember in the 5th grade when I was still in elementary school, a couple of our classmates had a Nintendo. I did not. I was still playing Atari at the time because people were just unloading their Atari games. They didn't want them anymore. I was like, well, I'll take all of them. That's fine by me. But a couple of them had one. I didn't have one yet. But yeah, like going to their house and playing pro wrestling was one of the first games I ever saw. Playing Burger Time. I loved Burger Time in the arcade, and seeing Burger Time at home on a Nintendo that didn't look like Atari Burger Time. It looked like the arcade version of Burger Time. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
So I had to go to my friend's house until eventually we finally got our own. But it was, and that's fine because by the time you got one, then you already had a library of games you could discover or find, or we had a local, it was more for like baseball cards and like gold coins kind of shop, not like a pawn shop, but it wasn't really presented like a pawn shop, but they also had used games there. So every once in a while you might find a used Kung Fu, or like a used, maybe if you're lucky, you might find like a Castlevania or a Contra or something like that there.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about that because like when I went, the first games I rented were at an electronics store. They would sell electronics, and they had another section for movies and video games that you could.
Oh
rent.
yeah.
Yes, it's exactly what it was. It was Curtis Mathis. Holy cow! Whoa! I thought that was like a Southern thing. I didn't know it was like a.
We had some in the Northwest as well. So
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but to think back, you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. For the store to be that way, because then it gets the blockbusters. It's just movie rentals and video games. That's it.
Yeah, I think they learned they had something going on there. It's like, well, we could rent these too, because they also had videos, but that was also back when you had to, like, my dad would literally have to write a deposit for the entire game for every game he checked out in case it got lost or broke or something like that.
Oh wow! I remember that.
It was at a different time. But then finally, when the blockbusters, we had a regional chain called Crazy Mike's Video. In fact, one of them, I got one of the games. I don't have a. One of the I rented this back in the day, King's Quest V for the NES, and that's literally the game I rented at that video store, and I found it used at a convention, and I was like, hey, that's the video store I rented from. Hey, that's the actual literal address of the store I went to. And then it took the person behind the counter saying, yeah, that was the same one you rented probably. I was like, that was the only one they had. Of course it was. So
wow, that's cool.
Things like that. I mean, that's nostalgia to me. So. Yeah, once they finally had the actual video store concept. And that was also back when you could find, I mean, there like grocery stores would have video games you could rent. We go to the local, Kroger or Safeway or whatever you have.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy that we were both renting from the same place? These video games.
Curtis Mathis, a name that doesn't even exist.
No.
I have
a TV that still to this day, it's Curtis Mathis TV.
I have... We're probably wasting time here. Hold on.
No, we got all the time in the world. What's funny is we didn't even have video stores that rented games in
Not
England.
what I was looking for, but
there
I found
it is.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. We didn't get Blockbuster in the UK until like the mid-90s.
I just want you guys to know I have tons of NES games, but they're all wrapped up in plastic, never to be used.
Oh, yeah. No, AJ's collection is kind of insane, but he never shows anything on the show because his collection is like, no, this is like a museum. It doesn't get touched. So
I know. Well, I don't have a game room or anything, especially when I had little kids. I just we utilize the rooms we have for bedrooms and all that. But I swore it was in here. Is it not?
I love that you just have a basket of games sitting beside you, ready to show them off, like just in case anybody wants to say that. Oh yeah, what about this one?
Yeah, what about this? Here's a Gradiente game. This one's from Brazil. So
yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was just a game that they had in Brazil. And Brazil, much like the UK, it's funny because here in the United States, Nintendo was everything. I was looking for a game. I have a game somewhere that has a Curtis Mathis sticker on it, and I thought it was right there, but apparently not. Brazil, like the UK. Here in the United States, everything was Nintendo, but over there, like Nintendo ran like fourth. for popularity. Just it was just the way it was, So especially in Brazil, you get all the bootlegs, all the multi carts, and all that too. But just fun to hear what nostalgia was for them growing up versus what we grew up with. Because here we are. I mean, down to literally renting games at the same store on opposite ends of the country.
Totally. Like the only way we could be further apart if I was in Florida. That's it.
Right.
I mean, that's just amazing to me.
Yeah, I am Yakima, Washington, so way up here.
Wow, dude.
Did you have Sega, John? Or were you aware of Sega? Like,
of course,
yeah. Okay.
We had a Master System, and I found a used Master System at a local comic book shop, probably 1990.
Oh,
so I had a Sega Master System. I don't know if you call it the Mark III or what you call it. But yeah, I had a Master System. I only had a few games for it, so I had like Double Dragon, and I was cool. It's like, Double Dragon plays more like the arcade game than the NES one. Yeah. So I had a few games for it, not many. And then Sega Genesis came about, and it was funny because I felt so guilty getting a Genesis because I was such a Nintendo diehard fanboy. But when I got a Sega Genesis, I'm like, this is fine. I can love both. I had a TurboGrafx 16 as well. So,
dude, my buddy had a TurboGrafx 16. I was blown away. I was blown away by like Keith Courage and China Warrior. I was just like, wait a minute, the rocks hit him, and then he gets a bruised eye, and then his nose will start bleeding. You're like, what? I was just blown away. The TurboGrafx 16 for its time, even though it's not really a 16-bit system, was pretty unique because you could take what do you call it? I don't know if you call them the Hue cards or whatever we call them. But you could take those cards and put them in a handheld and play the same games on a console as you would the handheld. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, because we had Nintendo and Game Boy would be like two different games sometimes, but it was literally the same game.
Same game.
You have Turbo Express?
Didn't have that over here either.
Nope.
Of course, I didn't have one. Of course, I do now.
I do. Yeah, I was the same. I didn't have one growing up, but I got one now. I mean, there's 1,000 ways to play all these games now. I mean, like even the Analog Pocket has that little adapter, to play some of these games too. But yeah, it was all the things I couldn't get back then. It's like I can get it now. So
that's where
the
I
fun
am
part.
at. That's me.
That's the fun part of being an adult.
And the good news is, whether you play it or not, at least you have the option to play it, as needed. And there's all these great modifiers too, who can like take a Turbo Express and like give it a better screen and give it like extended battery life, and even make it like a chargeable battery. Somebody did that to my Sega Nomad of all things. Like it makes it chargeable and all that. So
that's very cool
stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, there's so much out there, and there's a wrestling game for the TurboGrafx 16 as well. Again, not great, but it's better than the Master System version.
Is it like a Fire Pro, similar to that? I'm not sure.
I
know they had Fire Pro on the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah, they did, and that's oh man, I have to look at it again. I don't think it was exactly like Fire Pro, which is funny. Going back to why pro wrestling for the NES is so good, it's made by Human, the guys who make Fire Pro. So it's like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Holy
There's
cow.
Interesting.
It was isometric.
The problem with Fire Pro is I played an Aki game before. I played Fire Pro, and now
Fire Pro, the timing.
Everything sucks compared to any of those games.
Yeah.
No Mercy, WrestleMania, WCW. Now they all suck compared. Even if they have all the freaking characters on the game, even if they have AJ Smiles on there, like it's still like it didn't matter to me.
It's not the same.
You have to change the way you learn how to play video games when you play a Fire Pro game. And then once you get it down, it's not so bad. But I probably put more hours into Fire Pro Wrestling S6-Man Scramble on the Sega Saturn than any other game today ever in existence. Just how late our friends and I would stay out creating all these wrestlers, because this was before you could download wrestlers and they're already done for you.
I never could figure out how to play the Dreamcast All Japan game. I don't know if you've ever seen that, and I forget the name.
Oh, sure.
Of it.
Giant Graham and Giant Graham 2000.
Graham, yes. It looked amazing. I couldn't figure out how to play it because it's all in Japanese, but it looked awesome.
It came from the arcade.
Yeah, I was going to say it came from the arcade.
Yeah, and you could even take wasn't that the one you could actually take like your VMU from the Dreamcast and put it in the arcade and play it at home and play it at home?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be only a Japan thing we'd even know, right? Like it'd have to be a Japanese
probably
thing.
Yeah. That one 100% has a learning curve to it too. But again, it's another one of those, once you get it down, it's perfect. And I loved the fact that you could, especially with Giant Graham 2000, they had like, oh, here's the legendary matches. It's like Jumbo Tsuruta versus Misawa when Misawa first won. And WWE games do that now, where you just kind of play through them, and then it says, okay, now do a drop kick. Okay, now do a headlock takeover, whatever it is, to kind of simulate how the match went on. It gives you those timing things, and then if you win, you get a nice little video cinematic of that match, which I thought was a cool idea.
I loved how they when you drop somebody on their head, like an X-ray version of it was showing up. Like, oh my God, he broke his back.
The glass shatters. It's like
yes.
50% damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Japanese
Another hidden gem for wrestling video games, and I loved it, but man, it's slow. It's All Japan for the PS1. But I loved the mechanic on that, because like Fire Pro, there's like the weak, medium, strong, depending on what you do. But then like you hold a button and you hit one of those, and that's your grapple. But then the grapple is either you grapple them into a headlock. Now you got them in a headlock. And then one of the 4 buttons will be either you drop them down for a DDT, or you pick them up for a suplex, or you do something while in that headlock maneuver. You put them between your legs, and it's like one button's a pile driver, one button's a power bomb, one button's a power bomb pin. I just thought it was a great idea for a wrestling game. And it only came out in Japan because it's All Japan. But then on top of that, All Japan was always very slow with their matches. So like every match does take like legitimately like 20 minutes to go through. It's not arcade style at all. It's a grind, but man, I love that game.
I have to check that one out. I need to cover that one for my.
You know what's so cool about having this conversation? If we're going so back and forth from video games to pro wrestling, video games to pro wrestling, and, that just goes to show that they just kind of complement each other. Like we're just a bunch of wrestling video game nerds. It's cool. It's cool. I like it, man.
And I'm sure there are wrestlers today who are, they're world champions because they grew up with playing pro wrestling video games. And they're like, I can probably do that. That's kind of where I started. Again, I'm not a wrestler. I never claimed to be a wrestler either. But being a ring announcer, or like one of the promotions I work for called Lucha Project in Salt Lake City. Well, they're based in Salt Lake City, but I'm one of their announcers, and I'm also like their stepdad, which is their GM. It's fun to see that, and then talking to them, they're all huge. Growing up, I was like, wait, like wrestlers play video games too? And it's like now everyone plays video games.
Yeah.
Secret thing,
Here's the thing that's different. I guess it'd be. I think it kind of started in my generation of wrestlers. Is that we didn't go out to the bars and do all the drinking. We'd go and play video games, or have them in the locker room with us playing video games. Which the old school guys were like, you kids, there was a time where you couldn't, in WWE, you couldn't even have a PlayStation, PSP with you. Like, like no, none of that. There was a time. So it's just odd to me that, well, it's not odd. It's actually a good thing.
I think it's cool. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that so many guys are gamers. And trust me, there's been a lot of gaming going on in the WWE locker room, and it's freaking intense. In fact, so much so that I don't like the new Tekken versions, but I was an old school Tekken guy.
Well, same.
And so once things get, guys are playing each other and doing all these things, I would like, all right, let me get in there and smoke this guy, because I would do the very basics, and they weren't used to that.
Right.
So I'd really mess them up, mess up all their timing until then they realized it, and then they whoop me. But I would throw everybody off.
Yeah, that's me now. With most I was good for Tekken through about Tekken 3.
Yep, same.
And all the normal and Street Fighter. I'm always down for Street Fighter 2, but Street Fighter 6, I love it. But man, Street Fighter 2 is already the best of all time. So it's like So get these guys who are really good at the current Mortal Kombat games. Let's take it back to Mortal Kombat 2. Where you still remember all those fatalities that you have to. It's not just a one button hit. You gotta remember.
I still have all the Genesis unlock codes in my head for Mortal Kombat 1 because I input it so many times. But you've gone one step further. You actually make your own games as well. How does one get into that?
Yeah, certainly not alone. It got to the point where before all this, I knew how to edit video games. So I'll be like, oh, I can take Super Mario Brothers and then take out Mario and put myself in there, or put my kids in there, or put a friend of mine in there, and then even put it back onto a physical cartridge and gift it to someone. I did that once with Austin Creed, where I was like, I'm gonna take pro wrestling and turn it into like an up down video game just for fun. And so I swapped out the wrestlers. found his PO box, sent it to him, and he was like, "Hey, I got that game, thanks." So things like that. That's how it started. But then I was like, well, wait a minute. I can change the graphics and the colors and the text and all that, like kind of like Frankenstein's monster. If you change enough things, at what point does it become its own game? Right. So then I certainly, again, not alone. I found definitely have some help with this, but got to the point where I was like, well, everyone has always had their best idea for a video game of all time. So it's like, well, we can actually do that now, and with today's technology, and anybody can do this. So I just started kind of getting into, along with a couple of friends of mine, like, I want to make a game that plays like this, and then we end up doing literally that.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Mostly for NES, but I started doing some more for the Genesis after attending the UK and after going to like Brazil, where again nobody cares about the Nintendo stuff, but you got something from Sega. So the game I'm currently working on is also going to be for the Mega Drive, our Sega Genesis.
Oh, cool.
So that should be ready it should be ready later this year, but I'll bring it with me next time I go to the UK for the Bristol show or something.
Well, next time you're here, we'll have to meet up in person. That'll be one of those weird things.
100%. Absolutely. And there's a great place. There's a great place in Wales, not called Super Potato, but it's Super Tomato. Because it's also a play on words from the owner, who's a wonderful guy. And go there, great video game store. They have U.S. games and not just U.S. games, sorry. They have like U.S. and U.K. games along with imports from Japan. But he's also a huge wrestling fan, so there will also be like he'll have a little shrine, and they have. Well, hold on, I gotta show you. It's way behind me here. I gotta show you this. Talk about all the cool weird stuff I pick up. Yeah.
Cool weird stuff is what I live for.
I once upon a time had an arcade machine. Now it's more of a storage unit for all my. I couldn't not pass up the Giant Baba watch.
Oh, what the heck?
So he had this in the store. And I was like, I gotta have that. So,
That's pretty cool.
Super cool store. So if we're ever in the area, it's in Cardiff, Wales. Definitely go back there. And they always promote the local shows too. It's like, I got to be part of this local show. I got to come in sometime and be special guest ring announcer or something, or be the heel manager. I got to do something, man. So I just got to get out there more with the the more wrestling stuff too.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of independent wrestling in the UK. Progress is probably the biggest one that everybody knows. But that's how AJ and I met 25 years ago, was through independent English wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I don't live that far away from Wales. I live in the Midlands, close to Wales. So
when you say not too far away, how far is that?
A couple of hours.
That's too far away for me.
Yeah, when you figure the UK is about the size of Michigan.
Yeah, you can drive from the whole country in a day. It's not that big.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking about AJ's game room here. I was like, dude, I'd love to come in and sometime and film it and put it on the channel and all that. However, that would also be a 6-hour flight, which I don't mind doing. I travel a lot, so I'm passport ready. But sometime in the future maybe. But yeah, it's getting around in the UK. I know the UK was built during a time before cars, so not as easy sometimes. But your train system's immaculate. I wish we had a train system.
It is. Yes. No, we're very proud of it. Well, when they run on time, they're very good. But I just actually recently started going to a new retro video game store in the Midlands that I just discovered like 2 weeks ago. And already I've bought a bunch of great stuff, none of which I have to hand. I only have terrible things that I've bought to hand. I just picked up a Neo Geo Pocket.
Fantastic.
I didn't have before, a Neo Geo Color Pocket, whatever it's called.
Yep.
One of those.
Buddy of mine's collecting a whole set of those.
Yeah, they're really cool. I mean, I wish I'd have got a backlit one, or I might try and get it modded so I can have it backlit, because I love the clicky thumbstick. Clicky thumbstick is great.
If you had an emulator, you could just play the games. I know. I'm just saying.
Why do I work with this guy? Why?
You see?
Why do I do this to myself?
See what happens?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, AJ's first emulator, I gave to him. The Xbox that was modded for MAME back in the dark ages.
Yeah, it was modded, and there was a switch on the back. I don't know if you remember this. You could turn it off so you could still get online.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot to turn it off one time. Xbox caught me, and your Xbox is out of here. I had to go out and get a new Xbox. Yeah, thanks a lot.
The good old days. Yeah, I remember staying up crazy late or getting up early and playing Castle Wolfenstein on the Xbox back in the day with AJ. That was kind of fun. Do you still game now, John, like fairly regularly?
As often as I can. Again, I have, I'm full time. Like my full time job is I work for a group of radio stations. So I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm on the air. I'm a radio DJ. I do the wrestling stuff. That's mostly on weekends. When we either go to the local shows, we have a couple of them nearby. I'm the ring announcer for Reactivate in Richland, Washington. I help out with Relentless in Spokane, Washington, who just had the Good Brothers there not too long ago. So
cool.
We got to get AJ Styles there one of these times. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll chat about that maybe after we click the no longer recording button. And so I do those too. So, and then of course I have 3 kids and whatever I'm attending to their needs as well. So with all these things added up, it doesn't leave a whole lot of time because then like any time I could be doing something for myself, I should be editing my next video or I should be doing the dishes or something, So it leaves it harder and harder to find that time. I do though. I have talk about emulation. I have my Analog Pocket, which has kind of like all the cores on there. That has like here's every Nintendo game, here's every Master System game. I've actually been in a Master System kick recently. So I'll usually play a little bit of something just before bed. But aside from that, like whenever I travel, I mean, I'll bring my Switch with me when I travel, and there's always something new to play. Bubsy 4D is coming out soon, so I just, as of recording this, I got a review code in advance, so I can post a video right when the game launches. I'm in the game, so I'm super proud about that too. So you'll hear me as one of the voices pop in there. Yeah, so.
Awesome.
So I do when I can, but if you look at my Switch library and all these great AAA games that are coming out, I mean, they look like realistic. They look better than Hollywood movies. If you look at like my Switch library, it looks like a bunch of old Nintendo games from back in the day anyway. These $5, $10.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all I ever play.
Yeah,
anymore.
I prefer the retros. I prefer modern games that are made in the retro vein. That for me is my sweet spot. As much as I do like AAA games, sometimes I'm just
I'm not playing.
I'm sure they're great.
Retro games at this point. I just
don't have the time to invest that much time to sit down and play something like for even like an hour straight because I never know what I'm going to do next. It's like I like just to pick up.
You don't have time to figure out the controls for that new game that you want to play because it's going to take a while, and for you to be good at it or at least decent, it's going to take a month and a half. Like to really get. That's my problem. That's why I don't want to jump into anything new because I finally found some games I'm decent at, and to learn something else, it's I'm going to suck all over again. I don't want to do that. I just want to play the games that I love.
Yeah, this is why AJ still plays PUBG because he knows how to play it.
It's true.
Operation Wolf,
which is fair enough. I still play. I've been going back and playing some. So I said this to AJ before we jumped on the air. So when I first met my wife, I'm from London. She's from the Midlands, where we live now, and her dad had an NES. And this was years ago. He gave me the NES, which was really cool. But a little while ago, he came over and he was like, "Oh, I found some more NES games. Would you like them?"
Oh, love it.
I was like, "Oh yeah,
and there are some exclusives too. There's some games that only came out in the UK. And we never got them in the United States.
So check out this. I got all these for free. Double Dragon 3.
Okay.
The Adventures of Lolo 2.
I love Lolo. I know.
They're not. Yeah. The Mario Duck Hunt with the Zapper.
Yeah. Classic.
Original Mario. Kung Fu.
Yep.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is impossible.
I was about to say, if you beat that game, you need to brag about it.
Yeah, and Zelda 2. But I got all of these for free, so at the moment I'm kind of like
Zelda 2 as well. You see those Zelda 2s now at conventions, they're usually chipped up and the gold is kind of worn off. But that was really cool looking. So
I'm kind of like working my way through those, and I also picked up Karate Champ.
Okay.
I like Tiger Heli.
No, another classic. Cool.
And the thing is, like all these Nintendo games, they are so cool to me because I didn't have them growing up. Genesis, I'm kind of like, that's cool. And same with the Game Boy. I had a Game Gear, not a Game Boy. So for me, discovering all this like Nintendo stuff is super fun. You know,
and that's what's great about going to those gaming markets, like you said, the Birmingham. I'd love to attend a gaming market sometime. I haven't yet. I've been to the UK 3 times, every single time for a different video game expo.
Right.
But yeah, but they've always had like a vendor hall there too. So just
yeah,
wanted to see what all. Yeah, especially
I'm
if you can
looking forward to it.
there's a game called Token Road. Going back to the NES and going back to wrestling games, Token Road is the only Famicom wrestling game that never came out in the US. So we had Techno Road Wrestling. There's a Famicom version, Pro Wrestling that we had. I mean, it's for the Famicom disk system, but still counts. WCW was their version that had like all the other, like you could play as Giant Baba and all that, but they changed it to WCW game. But there's one called Token Road that came out only for the Famicom. We never got it here. It plays okay, but it's another one of those where it's like it's with the wrestlers you recognize. Because every Japanese wrestling game is it's always going to have Inoki. It's always going to have someone who looks like Great Muta. It's always going to have like Abdul the Butcher for the time, The names are changed just enough, like Fire Pro does, But
right. Well, you're the first guest we've ever had on this show. I'm sure we'll have others at some point. Don't know.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not the last time either.
Well, we don't really know what we're doing, so it's just like, let's. John's pretty cool. But one of the things, I know this from AJ because we're pals and we've also talked about it. But top 5 video games and then top 5 wrestlers. Go for it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Just right off the bat.
Wow, put you on the spot.
Nope. I know it.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah, I fly by the seat of my pants. I'm fine. So you talk about video games. You're talking about of all time, or are you talking about just NES or
all time?
Oh wow, dude!
I know what my favorite video game is of all time. Easy.
You got him?
Castlevania on the NES, which wasn't in your Nintendo top 10. I was very upset about that. Castlevania, Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, Arkanoid, the arcade game, because I used to have one. Contra, or Gryzor, as I knew it in the UK. And it did used to be Sonic. I used to really like Sonic, but now I've kind of switched that up to Mario after getting more into Mario recently. So I liked the original Sonic the Hedgehog. I had that on the Genesis or the Mega Drive, so that for me was a big one. But then I'd probably switch that out now for Mario, and probably to round it out would be The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt.
The Witcher 3.
I do know my top 5. Yeah.
I don't.
You don't have one?
No.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Out of all the games?
I know. Because sometimes, I think of, usually when I attend video game conventions and I host a panel, inevitably someone's going to say, what's your favorite game of all time? And my go-to answer, you just showed it a second ago, is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Right,
but is it the game I want to play right now? Not so much. But when I take myself back to the first time I ever played that game, and I played Legend of Zelda before that, and so when I saw Zelda 2, I thought the map was, that was like my Skyrim. This is a huge map. I could explore everywhere, go everywhere, do anything. I could go wherever I want. My mind was blown how big this game was. And this is coming from me who grew up with the Atari playing adventure all the time, where I was like, this is insane. So, that's my go-to answer for favorite game of all time. But yeah, if I had to just do a top 5 off the top of my head, it'll change tomorrow.
Oh, just a selection of games you would recommend. A selection of games you would recommend, and let's go with that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do the hidden gems. I'm not going to do whatever. I could be out all day. So I'll start with Zelda 2, just because I already said it. Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Favorites.
Only because it's not the best Fire Pro game, but only because I put so much time and effort into it, is Fire Pro Wrestling S6-Man Scramble on the Saturn. It's an import. I'd say ActRaiser for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Loved ActRaiser. And then do I say Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom for the NES, just because I have a great story behind it? Or, let me look behind me here. I might... Star Tropics. I put Star Tropics in there, and I look over here. I see Shadow. I love Shadowgate too, but I'll throw Star Tropics in there as well as one of my favorites.
So you're a fan of RPG games from back in the day?
Yeah, like those action RPG for sure. I liked, like Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy. I liked those okay. I liked the music more than anything, but I never cared for the like I'm gonna attack you and now I'll just stand here while you attack me.
Yeah.
It's like no,
Right.
I want to jump into the action. So
That's the way
some
I
of those kind of got a pass, but again, not as much for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get
Like,
that.
hey,
Okay.
like, listen, it's controversial, right? Because a lot of times it's nostalgia that gets to us.
Right.
Like I'm a big fan of Super Mario Brothers too, and I
Oh, I
know
like it
it's
more than
Doki.
three.
I think it's Doki. I know it's Doki Doki Panic, but I can't help myself because it was so unique, and I couldn't figure out why that was so different as a kid. And then, oh, he's just sleeping. That's why none of these characters make sense. No, they actually stole this and put Mario in there. And you're like, okay,
Right.
I get it, but it's still a great game. It just blew me away. Uncharted for the PlayStation 2. Pick any
Oof.
one of those. Uncharted 1, or all the way up till you get on the PlayStation 4, and then they have the, spin-offs, which I haven't played.
Right.
Sniper Elite. I freaking love Sniper Elite. I love the fact that I can get a slow motion view of a bullet going through a guy's head. And I got the X-ray version. Like, I
There you
like
go.
that.
Can't go wrong.
And because, like, you guys, aside from wrestling, you didn't name any, like, fighting games. Like, I'm a Tekken guy. Tekken was awesome to me. I love the grapple system and everything and how simple it was to hold back. It was Street Fighter, but better, in my opinion.
I played Tekken 2 for sure.
And then I'll forever be a Mike Tyson's Punch Out guy. I just thought that
my god,
so good.
the best.
So
The best.
But again, you'll see something tomorrow and you'll be like, "Oh freak, I forgot this." It's
that's me
every
hearing
time.
you speak. Yeah, I know. I already forgot. I already forgot Shadow of the Colossus. I already forgot, all these other arcade games that never reported, but they would still count.
Like,
There's.
I don't know if you guys ever even heard of the Stuntman for the PlayStation 2, I believe. So fun.
Oh yeah.
You're a stunt guy. You're a stuntman, and you do all the stunt works, and you got to string stuff together to get all the stars. It was so well done. It's so much fun. But I don't know a lot of people know that. It was one of my a really fun game for me. Like I couldn't stop playing it as much as it pissed me off. I couldn't stop playing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, there's lots of games. Like I was a big fan, actually, of the Burnout series.
yeah, they were great.
Oh sure.
Because they were super fun, like arcade racing, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a little open world, but you just, I'll challenge this guy, or I'll drive over here and see what's over here.
Yeah. It's one of the things I don't like about modern car games now. Like, I've just seen the new Forza. It looks fantastic, but to me, it's like, yeah, but what's fun about realistic driving? I can jump in my own car and drive. Like, yeah, I want to smash into things and get paid.
Right.
I'm a big fan of the Forza, where the last one they put out before. Like, I don't like the open world. I just want to hit the tracks and let's freaking race.
Right.
So I guess everybody has what they love about certain games.
And then all the Tony Hawk games. I mean,
those are huge.
Massive, absolutely huge. Okay, right. So we could talk about video games all day, which we might do. Wrestlers. I mean, you grew up in the.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had the second question here.
Yeah, you grew up in the 80s, so we're all from around the time. I mean, you mentioned some of your childhood favorites, Bam Bam Bigelow, Jake the Snake. See, I was an Ultimate Warrior guy because I was a kid and I didn't know any different. But after the Ultimate Warrior, I like Bret Hart, I like British Bulldog. Kerry Von Erich actually was one of my favorites. Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't really care so much about face and heel. It was just, they call it. And Ric Flair is my all-time favorite wrestler. So, who would be your kind of... No, we don't do Mount Rushmore. That's too difficult. Okay. Who are some of your, like, 5 or selection of from...
Sure.
Gives you the warm, fuzzy feelings.
Yeah, I'm surprised Big Daddy didn't make your list there.
Oh, he was terrible. 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 We had lots of good wrestlers in the UK, but...
That's true, yeah. He had the charisma. He had the crowd.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, the ones I really liked watching that I was like I'm gonna watch this because I really really like this guy. It's kind of like when the Three Stooges all walk in the door at the same time and they can't because they're all kind of shoved in there. All the names coming to me all at once and I can't even spit any of them out. I mean, old school Chris Jericho, of course. He was just so entertaining, and then I just loved watching him. I was introduced to him early WCW, but then when I started doing the tape trading stuff and seeing him in WAR, or seeing the the Super J Cup. I
Yeah,
probably
that's
wore
really
out
good.
the tape on my Super J Cup tapes,
Mhm.
watching those. So I think of him. I think of Jushin Thunder Liger again.
Mm.
But, you know, but
Yeah.
then, yeah, I mean, of all time, I mean, you got to say The Undertaker. He's
Mm.
always going to be way up there in my book, and he's another guy I'd love to meet sometime. Good Lord, I know.
It's hard, man.
You know, that's the. I mean, I can't not say AJ Styles, right?
You
Yeah, you
don't
can.
have to say AJ Styles.
You don't have to say it.
I
Okay,
wouldn't.
yeah, I'm not gonna say AJ. Well, since you're here at all.
AJ Styles.
No, I mean,
not that
of
good.
course, I was a fan of AJ Styles. But there was a. Oh, geez,
What about
I know.
guys like
I mean,
Wiki
I loved. I
Steamboat?
mean, like more recently. I mean, I loved. I mean, Dijak, but like Dominic Dijakovic when he was in NXT.
Mhm.
I could watch him and Keith Lee. And they had their. I mean, especially when the NXT was had the takeover in Portland, Oregon. I was like, this. I don't know if it's going to get even better than this. This is it, man. This is. You know, and I was a huge fan of NXT. I still am, but yeah, I mean, there's so. And that's what I guess one of the nice things now too is you find these wrestlers that you really appreciate, and then hopefully especially with these wrestle cons and even comic cons or even just going to some of the local wrestling shows, you never know who's going to show up. And so I was able to meet Dijak. I was able to meet. About a month ago, I just participated in a Christopher Daniels seminar.
My God.
Oh, cool.
I know, and
Very
he was
cool.
hosting that again. Relentless Wrestling in Spokane, Washington. They bring in a lot of great names. From TNA. They do seminars and all that. It's where I say it's where I train. I haven't been to training in like 6 months now, because it's a 3.5 hour drive for me. But I'm always at the show. I'm always, I mean, whatever they need. The last show, the commentator couldn't show up. So they're like, hey. You know how to talk. You're going to be commentator today. Perfect. I can talk. I can do commentary. So I'll do commentary. I'll be bringing out whatever you need. So So we got to get you there, AJ. I'm telling you. I don't know if I had to just say one more name. There's got to be someone from ECW. I mean, I was a huge fan of the Blue Meanie. I mean,
okay.
So just for
Everybody
fun. I mean,
has
like,
a place, man.
Yeah.
Again, going back to like the Danhausens, and I was super honored that I was able to actually announce for Danhausen because he did a show like a month before his WWE debut. So
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh, I just announced this guy like on the way to the ring kind of thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was a huge ECW fan, and any of those ECW guys, Masato Tanaka. I mean, he's going back to the Gladiator. Mike Awesome. I could just start naming wrestlers at this point, but
it gets tough, and you're obviously still a fan now. You watch a lot of the products. We always talk about it's a golden time. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Like
it really
you
is.
Watch
there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
Not just from the major corporations, but even through Thriller or through IWTV. I mean, I'm able to watch. I'm able to watch like independent wrestling from across the United States, and even beyond.
Cool,
which is fantastic. And I'll kind of, there's almost too much stuff to watch now too. Where I loved NXT, and now NXT has. WWE now has the ID program, and now there's Evolve, and seeing some of the people that I've also announced for introduced to the ring on Evolve now, which is fantastic. So I love seeing the people I like succeed.
You know what's sad is that when we were tape trading, we were able to see so much overseas stuff, and they don't have the access to all those old school wrestling, because we could look it up on YouTube back then and see all the highlights that we wanted to see. So like you're naming off guys, and I was like, oh, freaking Taker, Shawn, Michaels, Eddie Guerrero, Liger, Hayabusa, like seeing all those guys.
Hayabusa,
it's just like, man, I wish I could show these. Sometimes I'll go back, I admit, and I go, oh, I love this. That was terrible, just because of my understanding now of how
you're looking at
psychology. Yes, of mature eyes when it comes to almost a little bit too much, because I'm analyzing everything and why this wasn't working.
Hard to pull yourself away from that, and just watch it.
It sucks to watch it like that.
Right.
But seeing the highlights and stuff like that, it's so cool. Like, dude. I'm just going to throw his name out there because he thought he was so unique at the time. I'll name him British wrestler and a freaking low key was brilliant in the stuff. He just was so different. That Doug Williams was the first European guy I saw, from England. I was blown away by the chaos theory and the way he wrestled, because he just kind of done the catch as catch can, but also put his own spin on it. Was more of an American style. I was like, man, this guy's amazing. So there are so many guys that belong in that realm of unique and special individuals. I just so happen to have the opportunity to watch them or sometimes wrestle them. It's it was a good time to be a fan and a pro wrestler during the time I was coming up.
Oh, the last 30 years in professional wrestling, I think, have been fantastic, from WWE, ECW, WCW, and then the independent scene taking off once WCW and ECW had folded, because there was nothing else other than WWE, and WWE at that time wasn't very fun, but the independent wrestling scene was absolutely amazing in the early 2000s. Ring of Honor, ECWA, IWA Mid-South, all like tons and tons and tons of places. It was a really cool time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, you just had to know someone, or you just had to take a chance, because sometimes maybe you didn't know that there's like local wrestling even near you, or even like an hour away or something like that. But now there's so many more avenues to, we have WWE, AEW, TNA. I'm sure there's more out there too that are just on like television, if you have a streaming service, or how you're going to watch it. But now there's so many more options and places where you can find, discover these. Because I didn't at the time, especially growing up, I was like, oh, here's this person who was all of a sudden a great wrestler. Well, they had to train from somewhere. They had to do something before getting there. But WWE would never acknowledge that. Where this guy come from? So I wouldn't have known.
It's interesting.
Every once in a while, I would see someone local, and then eventually, like 2 or 3 years down the line, then maybe they would show up on WCW.
Right. I remember
like,
that guy.
I just saw that guy at our local armory or whatever.
Yes. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, and a great time to be a fan of this podcast, because you never know who's going to turn up. It's John Riggs this week. Who knows who it might be in the future? But John, thank you so much for spending all this time with us, talking about games and wrestling. This has been absolutely awesome.
Well, I'm a long-winded talker. I could talk about wrestling and video games, and if you want to mix in like retro anime and breakfast cereal in there as well, man, trust me.
Oh, I saw you were a breakfast cereal guy, right? You were showing off some UK cereal.
I did. I know. That was one of the first places I went. I went straight to a Sainsbury. I went to Greg's and got my sausage roll. Then I went to a Sainsbury's and I got my frosted, because we don't have frosted Shreddies here in the United States. So we don't have either. Now, and AJ might know this one too, but growing up, like late 80s, maybe into the early 90s, there was a cereal called Nut and Honey. The commercials were because they're like, hey, what are you eating there? Nut and honey. And he's talking to his drill sergeant, like, what are you eating? Nut and honey. What? It was a great breakfast cereal. It doesn't exist in the US anymore. It exists in the UK, called Crunchy Nut. So.
Oh, okay.
We just don't have it anymore, but it's still there. So I got that. Again, we don't have frosted Shreddies here in the U.S. So whenever I'm in the U.K., talk about bringing back. I have one suitcase full of video games, and then one suitcase, full of breakfast cereals and amazing chocolates. I'm trying to avoid chocolate right now, but all the great snacks that you have there too. It's just fun to see. So I know my wife and I are huge fans of like British television, and
I can be you're Scott Steiner now. I'll be your hookup for the cereals and the candy and stuff. Anything you want, just let me know. I'll send it over. But
work out a cereal trade. You send me some. Some Crunchy Nut. I'll send you some Cap'n Crunch or Fruity Pebbles or whatever you got there.
We'll send you stuff that might just kill you.
American candy and American cereal is very different from the UK, but that's a different podcast. Yes. John, where can people find you?
Podcast for another time.
Yes, where can people find you on the internet?
I am so creative that my YouTube channel name is literally my name. It's just John Riggs. It's also my radio name. So John Riggs on YouTube, and then John Blue Riggs on all socials, so you can find me there as well.
There you go. Make sure you are following John. His YouTube channel is fantastic. I've been a long-time subscriber. For this show, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Remember, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend. You know what I mean. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye.